The secret to this soup is roasting the red peppers yourself. There are many ways to do it, but I'll show you the easiest. Welcome to Lawyer in the Kitchen. Today we're gonna make roasted red pepper and Gouda soup, and this is gonna be, I'm not gonna say Gouda, I know my wife is going to, but it is gonna be good. Anyhow, a lot of ingredients. The main thing is how you roast these peppers. Can you buy them in a jar? You can, that are already roasted and have the skin off them and all that. That's fine, you can do that. If you don't have time or don't want to do it, that's fine. But I think this will be a little bit better. It'll be a notch better, little upscaled on this wonderful dish. All right, first of all, I've got 4 red peppers. I've got 3½ cups of chicken broth, about a ½ cup of heavy cream, 4 tablespoons of butter, 1 small onion, 1 carrot, 1 rib of celery, 4 cloves of garlic, 1/4 teaspoon each of the following: basil, dried basil, oregano, tarragon, and thyme, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and just a dash of cayenne. And then in the very end, we're going to add just a squeeze of about a ½ a lemon to add some acid to the soup, about a cup of Gouda that we are going to grate ourselves, and we'll put that all in at the end. But the first thing we're going to do is get these peppers roasted. Let's talk about roasting these peppers. There's several ways to do it. If I only had one and I didn't have, don't want to, take a lot of time, this is a good way to do it right here. You can just do it on your burner. Obviously be careful not to burn yourself. That works. You could also use one of these. Then you can kind of spot it. See how it blisters up nicely? Or you could really do it with one of these. Now, this is fun. And if you got a little more time and you want to do it like that, you can. That'll work. But the way we're actually going to do it, we're going to broil them in the oven. That'll be the easiest way to do it, and it'll be the fastest. It'll take us about 10 to 15 minutes to do these, about 5 minutes aside under the broiler. All right, so we got our broiler on. I'm ready to put these in the oven now. About 5 minutes each side. We'll keep turning them until we get them all charred up. So not to waste time, while we've got the peppers in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and get our other ingredients ready. Ultimately, all of these ingredients are gonna be in a stock pot, and we're gonna use an immersion blender to make the soup. I just started using the ceramic knife and I kind of like it. All right, so we got just 1 rib of celery, and we're gonna chop that up. Again, we're not gonna worry about it too much. And then our carrot. I think the easiest way to do a carrot is to get it laid on and cut in half and then turn it over like that. And then we'll cut it again one more time. We've got everything ready. We're ready to go as soon as we have some peppers. So this has actually been about 10 minutes, and I moved the rack up a little closer, but I'm happy with them now. They don't have to be completely charred over. These are going to go in for at least another 5 minutes. So this has been about 20 minutes or so, and I've turned them over a couple of times, and I think they're charred enough. And we're going to take them out and wrap them up and seal them. Now I've got a lot of foil so that I can get these together. What we want to do is seal these so they'll sweat, and it'll hopefully make the skins easy to come off. We're gonna do this for about 10 minutes, and then we'll start putting everything together. While our peppers are cooling down, I'm gonna go ahead and do the last thing that I need to do, and that's get this cheese grated. Don't buy it grated. I don't need if you can find Gouda grated. The problem with the grating of cheeses, it's fine for sprinkling it on things or in a salad, but if you're gonna cook with it, you don't want the flour additive. So this will melt much better. Well, there's a cup, which is technically what we're looking for. got something in that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put a little more than that. All right, so we've got everything ready. I got the garlic chopped while the peppers were in there. We got everything ready. As soon as we get the peppers ready, we're ready to start putting this all together, and it'll be about 20 minutes before the soup is done. All right, so we're ready to, it's been 10 minutes. Let's see how these skins come off. Ah, look at this. They've collapsed down. And let's just see. Ah, yes, that's coming off nicely. See that? This, however, is flavor.
Do you take the seeds out of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna cut them. We're gonna cut them open. We'll take the seeds, the stem, and most of the skin off. Let's go ahead and open this up. And we're gonna get rid of these seeds. Now there's gonna be a few seeds in there. That's just gonna happen. All right, we got one of them done. Like I say, some people leave that on. I don't want to. I think the flesh is better without it. And if you were making chili rellenos, you would take the skin off. We've got very few seeds in here, I would say. There's just a few. All right, we are ready to start cooking. Peppers, including red peppers, have been eaten, some say, for thousands of years. Bell peppers are said to originate from Central and South America and have been growing all over the world since the 1400s. Not everyone agrees, but some say a Spanish explorer brought bell peppers to the United States in 1598 under King Philip II. Roasting red peppers became popular in the United States in the 1970s and 80s, even though Mediterranean cooks have roasted them since the 1500s. Today we're adding some Gouda cheese and cream to make this creamy, hearty soup. Now it's just a matter of cooking. Okay, we're going to put our 4 tablespoons of butter, light this up. I'm not going to add salt. There's enough salt in the broth, and we'll add salt to taste at the very end. Okay, so there's our mirepoix, obviously the onions, carrots, and celery. And we're going to cook this about 7-8 minutes. I'm going to put the garlic in. This garlic is minced. I'm going to put the garlic in the last couple of minutes. I've got the mirepoix in. I'm going to go ahead and put in the 1/4 teaspoon of basil, 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of tarragon, 1/4 teaspoon of thyme, and just a splash of cayenne. I'm going to mix that around. And I'm saving the garlic until I'm down to about 90 seconds because I don't want this to burn. So this has been about 6 minutes. I'm going to put the garlic in now and cook for about another minute to a minute and a half. And we're just going to get these vegetables softened up so they'll blend well. And that is it. We're going to put in the chicken stock and the tomatoes with all that juice. Peppers. No, they're not tomatoes. Yes, I mean that.
See, I've corrupted your mouth.
I know you wanted me to put tomatoes in. Some people do put tomatoes in this, but that's not correct. All right, so we've simmered it at about this much for a little more than 5 minutes actually, and that has all of the ingredients except for the cream, the sugar, and the Gouda, and a little bit of lemon. Everything else is done. So now we're going to turn this off. We're going to use an immersion blender, or I call it a stick blender, and we're going to get this pureed. That's why I got the bigger pot. Let's do this. Well, the other way we could do this is put it in a food processor or in a blender itself. I'm voting for that. This is not working. Yeah, no. Okay, so if my pot was deeper, I could have used a stick blender, but it's not, so I'm not going to go with that. So we're just going to go ahead and pour all this in to a real blender. Yeah, you definitely want to vent this, no question. All right. All right, and you can see we're not too bad. But of course, if the top had been blown off, it would have been bad. Oh, that looks pretty good. That's a nice consistency. I'm going to go ahead and heat this up a little bit. Normally you would just, but because I went back and forth, it's cooled off a little bit and I want that cheese to melt. And so now we're going to add the cream. The teaspoon of sugar, a little bit of lemon juice, and then the cheese. And that should be enough heat to melt this cheese and incorporate this nice and smoothly. And it's melting great. I'll tell you one thing, Gouda absolutely melts beautifully. All right, we're ready to try it. Oh, I gotta tell you, this is absolutely one of the best things I've ever made. This is got so much depth, this creaminess of the cheese and the cream itself. The spices are nice. There's just a little bit of texture, but it's still smooth, silky smooth. And you can absolutely taste the roast on those peppers. I'm happy with it. Come try it. I can't wait for you to try this.
Ooh.
Isn't that great? Isn't that good?
Wow, you can taste all the flavors.
You can taste everything in there.
And yet they blend. Nothing stands out.
No, but the pepper's the star, I think.
It sure is.
Absolutely.
That is fantastic.
Well, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe.
Can I double dip?
You can do it.
Okay.
And tell me what country you're watching this video from. I'd appreciate that. Put that in the comments. And I'll see you next time on...
While you're in the kitchen. Oh, man.
What?
I didn't do my thing. It's really Gouda.
Oh, thank God.